I'm Rachel, and I spent weeks planning the perfect holiday gift for my partner, Ethan. He's not great at gift giving, and last year he got me something that felt impersonal. How do I balance my expectations without feeling disappointed?
Give it from the heart and let it be received whatever way it's going to be received. I'm Liam, and my partner, Tara, wants to go out for the holidays. Expensive gifts, hosting a party. I prefer a simple, low-cost holiday season. How do we find a compromise?
I really think this is where you have to compromise. It's a no-brainer for me. Every holiday season, my partner's mom takes over the planning and completely ignores my input. When I bring it up, my partner, Chris, says, that's just how she is. Let it go. How do I navigate this without causing tension in my family? I'm not okay with somebody else getting into my holiday season or things like that.
He needs to go straight to her, and he needs to very kindly and lovingly say, look, how can we compromise?
Hi, everyone. Happy December. My name is Cassandra Ritter, and this is Tasha Taremi. We're here with Astro Divas from Astrodipity. Astrodipity is an online dating site, which is all about compatibility through synastry. So the goal is to put your date of birth, your time of birth, and your hour of birth, if you know it, so you can have your rising sign and your get to know your moon and your Mars, etc. It's not necessary that you have your time of birth, but it is, if you want to know your ascendant, it's very important. You have your choice of Western astrology or Vedic astrology. That way you can see where your planets were and what your sign is in both cultures. The other thing is, if you're looking for a deeper connection, we think that Astrodipity would really help you, because it's not your typical hookup site or anything like that. It's so you can meet someone who, even if it's for friendship or if it's to help you with careers. We are going forward in India and throughout the US. We're not doing any marketing in Canada. But I mean, there are people starting to get on. So we are a new startup. But very proud of what we do and hope that it makes people happy. On that note, we're going to get into our dating advice emails, and we're going to try to respond to everyone before the holidays. So I will start with this one. Hi, podcast. I'm Rachel, and I spent weeks planning the perfect holiday gift for my partner, Ethan. He's not great at gift giving, and last year he got me something that felt impersonal. I'm worried he won't like my thoughtful gift or will feel guilty about not putting in the same effort. How do I balance my expectations without feeling disappointed? Thanks. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you're giving a gift from the heart, then you need to have no expectations. You know you gave it from the heart, and it is not your responsibility to center someone else's emotional response to your gift.
Well said.
Yeah, give it from the heart and let it be received whatever way it's going to be received.
That's all we can say.
Yeah. That's how I feel about that.
Me too.
All right. So we're going to go on to the next one. It says, hi, Astro Divas. I'm Liam, and my partner, Tara, wants to go out for the holidays. Expensive gifts, elaborate decorations, hosting a party. I prefer a simple, low-cost holiday season, but every time I bring this up, she says, it's just once a year. How do we find a compromise without arguing? Thank you, Liam.
It sounds like you're both very, very different when it comes to Christmas. I know a lot of people who are like that. And then I, on the other hand, I love Christmas. I think this is where you have to compromise, and you should want to make her happy. If she loves to go all out on Christmas like I do, just go with the flow. It is really one day, and then you've got the other days if you guys get together with family and everything. But I really think this is where you have to compromise. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. Why don't you rotate? So one Christmas you do it your way, minimalist, and the next Christmas let her go all out. I think that would be a fair compromise.
There you go. It's all about compromise.
Yeah.
The next one would be, hi, Astro Divas. My partner, Sam, and I have completely different holiday traditions. Their family loves big, loud celebrations, while mine prefers quiet, intimate dinners. We've been arguing about where to spend the holidays this year, and it's creating tension. How do we handle this without hurting each other's families? Well, there is a simple solution to that. You could just not go to anybody's families and you could stay and do your own thing. Or once again, just alternate and go this year to her family or this year to yours, and next year do the opposite. But I would think that maybe starting your own tradition might be a nice thing. And
No,
that,
I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah,
But if you can't rotate, or you can't decide who's going to go first, maybe you could do a drawing from a hat.
yeah,
Put families in it.
make it exciting, make it interesting. Yeah.
Make it fun. Okay, so the next one is, hi team, I'm Emma, and I love giving generous gifts during the holidays. My partner Mark thinks it's unnecessary and keeps saying, let's stick to a strict budget this year. It's starting to feel like he doesn't appreciate my thoughtfulness. How do we find common ground without ruining the spirit of giving? I think you can get creative on the gift giving. Not every gift has to be high dollar for it to be an amazing gift. Do your research. What would be important to each one of those people? What would mean something to them? Sometimes people are avid readers. They love to read. And you know what type of books they like to read. Get them a nice book. It doesn't have to be elaborate gifts. It's better to find out what they like personally and give them something that is personal to them than to spend a lot of money.
Absolutely. And the
Yeah.
holidays shouldn't be about gift giving in the first place.
Oh,
It's supposed to be about spending time with one another and love. But I understand the joy of giving. I like to give. Um, and I do understand, but it really should be more personal and not so much about how much you're spending rather than the thought itself.
right.
Okay, so I'm Lucas, and every holiday season, my partner's mom takes over the planning and completely ignores my input. When I bring it up, my partner Chris says, that's just how she is, let it go. How do I navigate this without causing tension in my family? Well, first of all, I'm not okay with somebody else getting into my holiday season or things like that when I'm the one doing it. Um, I don't want anybody else's family planning or taking over or controlling it whatsoever when I love Christmas and I love doing it. Now, depending on how you are, if you don't like doing it, maybe she's just trying to add a little bit of input because she loves it as well. However, the only way you're going to fix this is by telling her how you feel. And that's the only solution there is. Tell her how you feel. Don't insult her or be too arrogant in the way you come across, and try and explain that you really like to plan and you prefer it if she didn't, and that maybe you can go to her house next year and she can do
Right.
all the planning if that's how you feel. That's
That's
my
exactly the advice I was going to give. He needs to go straight to her, and it needs to come straight from the horse's mouth. And he needs to very kindly and lovingly say, look, you know, I love planning for Christmas, and, I appreciate all the effort you put in, but I want to share in that joy.
yeah,
So, how can we compromise so that you can allow me to be a part of it?
right.
Yeah. So the next one is, hi Astro Divas. I've been dating Alex for almost a year, and he just told me that he's not ready to spend the holidays with me. He says it's too soon, but I feel hurt because I thought we were serious. Should I wait patiently or question this commitment? Thanks, Megan. If
Okay,
it's
well,
been if it's been a year, if it's been a year, uh, no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't wait. I'd get rid of him.
actually, I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I would be completely insulted. There is nothing that I can say that would make it so that I'm being too sensitive about this. I think the holidays are really important. Maybe he doesn't like Christmas. I don't care. I do. And if you're not being a part of the things I love and vice versa, then we're not a match. We're not aligned
No.
at all.
No. Nope.
Right. Hi team. I've been with my partner Ryan for 3 years, and I think he's planning to propose on Christmas in front of our families. I love him, but I don't want such a public or cliche proposal. How do I address this without ruining the moment or hurting him?
I think you need to just start talking about how you feel about proposals and how you know you you can even say I saw a program on TV and this couple they got engaged and it was in public and I thought it was sweet, but then I saw another couple and they did it in a private setting and I thought that was just so amazing. So you got I think you can go in the back door and be creative, and yeah, maybe you're telling a little white lie, but at least you are putting the point out there without giving away the fact you're suspecting he's going to do it in public. That's
Right.
my opinion. That's how I would deal
Yeah,
with it.
because you don't want to hurt him or
No,
let him know. You don't want to ruin the surprise in the first place.
no.
That wouldn't be fair either. That would take away his joy. So I agree with everything you just
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
try
it,
and find little subtle ways
yeah,
of letting him know how you feel about the
yeah.
whole public display.
I mean, you could even watch an episode of 90 Day Fiance if you want to make sure you're being honest. And then you can say, I
Yeah,
saw this on 90 Day Fiance. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, and hopefully, just hopefully he clues in.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll get it.
Right.
So the next one is Hi, podcast. I'm Tina, and I've been unhappy in my relationship with Jake for months. With the holidays approaching, I'm unsure whether to end things now or wait until after the season to avoid ruining the holidays for him and his family. What's the best approach? Thank you, Tina. I don't think it's fair if you hold on to a relationship, whether it is a holiday or not. You know, I feel like that's stringing someone along. And if you're not into it and you're not happy, who cares what the holiday is? You need to be open, honest, and upfront. That's my opinion. Yeah.
It's very sad for him.
Yeah.
Very, very sad, especially when holidays are coming up and things like that, and his family and everybody's. But yeah, at this point, I think out of being fair to him, you got to tell him how you feel. Maybe you can still go together for Christmas and just be honest with everybody. We're not going to make it, and you know, but have that discussion with him now, and maybe still attend the family gathering because it's the holidays. But being not together anymore. However, you need to tell him it's not right. He's probably out buying you gifts or planning things. Who knows what he's thinking? But I think it should be now you have the conversation. You don't wait. I mean, especially if you're writing this in the first place, I think you're done. And out of all fairness to him, give him his reality, the reality of the situation. Right.
Yep.
Hi, Astro Divas. I'm Mia, and I absolutely love the holidays. My partner Kyle hates them and refuses to decorate, watch holiday movies, or attend parties. It's starting to feel like a major compatibility issue. Can we find a way to make this work? Well, I think that if that's the only thing that you guys are not in alignment with, then that's something that, yeah, you can absolutely work. But if this is the story with everything, then you guys have a compatibility issue for sure. But getting back to this specific thing, if you're the one who loves Christmas and he doesn't, he shouldn't have to decorate and things like that. You shouldn't have to. He should want to help because you love it, but he shouldn't have to. This shouldn't be an expectation that you have just because you love Christmas. This is your thing. You love the parties, you love the holiday movies. You can't force that on someone else. Hopefully he wants to. If it's an all year thing, that's different. But all I can say is you shouldn't. Can you find a way to make this work? Like I said, he shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't expect him to. That's all I can say.
So here's my take on this. I don't think it has anything to do with Christmas. I feel like this is a very stubborn individual that's set in their ways. And if he doesn't want to do something, he just doesn't do it. The problem I have when you're in a loving, committed relationship, your partner should respect your wants, your needs, and even if they don't have an interest in it, they should be supportive in some way. There should be a little give and take. There
Oh,
should
there,
be an equal give and take. And I feel like this is a person that is just very stubborn and set in their ways. And I feel like she needs to put her foot down.
but at the same time, it's like someone telling me, I'd like you to watch horror movies, or I would like you to watch, let's watch cartoons, example. And this is my thing, and I want to watch cartoons. If I don't feel that you're incompatible just because you don't like the same things. There are going to be times when you really just don't like the same things. Now, can you accept that or not? That's a whole other question. I think, yes, you can try to show interest in the other person's interests. You should. There's equal give and take. You make the attempt. However, if you really, really don't like it, eventually there'll come a time when you're both going to be okay with not doing the same things. Like if you're watching football and I'll go off and do something else that I like to do. So I don't think this should be, if he doesn't like, stubborn or not, if he doesn't want to watch holiday movies, yes, he should try and make an effort for her. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A little
It's
bit.
not so much about the movies. It's about refusing to attend any holiday party. It's about
Yeah.
not
He,
assisting her with decorating. Like, like if it were Mark and I, he would be like, okay, I don't necessarily want to decorate, but let me get the ladder out. Let me help you hang it for you so you don't
because
have
he
to,
cares. Because
because
he
he
cares about
cares.
you. Yeah.
Right.
Because he
So
cares.
that's the part that it's not, trust me, Mark doesn't like holiday movies. And I don't ask him to watch holiday movies. Well, he does like holiday movies, just not like Hallmark, but he
I
doesn't
like
like that either.
Hallmark
I
movies.
do too.
I love them.
It's like the daydream, I don't know.
I
I
love
like it.
them. No, I
Mhm.
agree with what you just said, and
Yeah.
that was a great example on giving people
Yeah.
examples like this. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think sometimes I'm, let a person just be who they are, but then that's what causes resentment down the road,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
it really does, because if they're always like this, well, then they're not participating, and, where's the romance? Where's
Equal
those
give and take.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
loving feelings.
Mm-mm.
Yep,
Am I next?
I think you are.
Okay, so it says, "Dear podcast, my partner Chris shares custody of his child with his ex. So we'll all be at the same holiday gathering. I feel awkward because the ex still seems overly friendly with Chris. How do I handle this situation without creating drama? Thank you, Jenna." The real question is, how does Chris react to the ex? Of course, the ex is going to try to make you jealous. She's insecure. She's going to try to make you jealous. But how does Chris handle it? That's the real question that I would need to know in order to give you a good answer. You got nothing to feel insecure about.
Unless she's saying that she seems overly friendly, but is this just her interpretation of it because she's insecure about his ex in the first place? Or is it that's who his ex is, and just friendly, and I mean, it's a difficult situation to be in, but I don't have enough facts for this to
Yeah,
know that, who she is in the first place. She is the mom,
right.
right, of the children, right? From what I understand.
Yeah, I would want to know more of his interaction with her
I mean,
than anything.
they share custody of the child together, and you want to be friendly, especially at holiday gatherings.
Yeah.
You want to be cheerful and laughing and things like that. You don't want to be, we're not going to talk to one another.
Overly friendly to me sounds like she is being flirty, like laughing, putting her hand on his shoulder. You know what I mean? That's the
Right,
energy I feel around that discussion.
right,
And I feel like there's intent behind it, but that's just my perception of what I'm reading.
right.
Yeah.
Understood. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia, and my partner Ethan is a workaholic. He cancels plans at the last minute and is always on his phone. When I bring it up, he says, I'm doing this for our future. How do I address this without sounding unsupportive? Thanks, Olivia.
Well, I think you need to have a heart-to-heart discussion about what your emotional needs are within this relationship. Because if you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have emotional fulfillment and a connection, it's not going to go anywhere. And you need to
Right.
be open and honest about that with him. And he needs to be able to compromise in some way. On Sundays, for between the hours of 12 and 4, you have my undivided attention. We will do things just you and I. That's a compromise that needs to be had.
Yep.
Yeah.
Communication is very important in this aspect for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is my partner Liam told me early on that he had only dated one person seriously before me, but I recently found out he's had multiple long term relationships. He says he didn't think it mattered. Should I let this go or question what else he might be hiding? Thanks, Maya.
I think you should let it go. I think if you guys are doing well, let it go. And that's only because I've changed the way I think, because a year ago I would have never said that. Now I think you should just let it go. If your relationship is fine, don't rehash things that are done and gone. They're in the past. And just keep going. I know it's hard when you find out something because he obviously isn't transparent. Um, but I think you should let it go at this point.
I agree.
That's the simple answer. Just let it go. I
Yeah.
guess we're just not into the whole fighting thing, right?
No, it's
Let's
not
just
worth it. If there's no reason,
not
if he's
worth it.
not been, if there's no red flags now, I mean, his past is in the past, just like yours is.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, Dear Tasha and Cassandra, I'm Alexis, and my partner David has asked me to convert to his religion before we get married. I'm spiritual, but not religious, and this feels like a huge sacrifice. Should I make the change for love, or is this a red flag? Well, I don't think this is a red flag unless you're making it a red flag. Um, have you not discussed this before? I don't have much information on this, but if you are both serious about one another, is it that bad to convert? I think in my case, I would convert for the person I love. But yes, you do have to believe in the religion as well. If you don't believe in it whatsoever, you shouldn't convert. Um, so you really have to define what is most important to you in this case. Are you willing to let go of the relationship? Because basically, you only have two options here.
Right. And I don't think it's fair for him to insist on it. I think that he should be open to her beliefs and not try to force his beliefs. I don't think he should be forcing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Right.
So the next one is my partner Taylor has been canceling our dates frequently, saying they're too busy. He's too busy. Sorry, she's too busy. I'm starting to wonder if she's still interested. How do I bring this up without sounding clingy? Thanks, Lucas. You know, I'm sorry, but if someone is constantly canceling, I don't feel like she's interested. Because people that are in love, people that, you know, have that connection, they'll do anything to spend time together. And it just sounds like there is a lack of interest or investment.
I think there's someone else that he's
Yeah.
also talking to. I just do. That's my
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah. And that he has lost interest.
Yeah.
It's because usually you want to push forward and you want to move forward and you want to start building and you start making plans and things like that. Not the opposite. When you start backtracking, it's
Pulling
because,
your energy away.
yeah.
Yep.
Can a minimalist and a hoarder work. I'm Emma, a minimalist, and my partner, Chris, is a hoarder. Our home is filled with clutter and it stresses me out. He says, "This is who I am. Can such different lifestyles work long term?" I'm just going to say flat out no. That's what I'm going to say. You are completely different. It's going to come back. Maybe not, actually. I shouldn't say that. 100% of the time is not right. It is possible. However, you're always going to have to pick up after him or get rid of things. You're always going to be the mother in this relationship. And he should maybe seek some help with this because this is a serious thing. Hoarding is not something to be taken lightly. There are reasons for it. There's trauma behind it. There's lots of healing that needs to happen, and it's quite serious, and it could lead to other things. So if you don't like to have things around because that's the way you need to stay organized and you need to stay calm and grounded, it's very, very, very important that he gets help for this. And I don't think this would work long term at all.
No, someone that's a clean freak or OCD or, likes things to be a certain way, it causes massive stress and anxiety. I can't
Right.
even watch hoarders. I have an anxiety attack watching hoarders,
Me too. Me too.
much less living with a hoarder. I couldn't.
And funny enough, I think we all have a bit of OCD, or I can be OCD sometimes. I
Right.
definitely can be. But when it comes to hoarding, even the thought of it right now in my head, just the thought of it, I can't stand it.
No.
It's yeah.
All right. So the next one is I'm Tina and I've been working on starting my own business. My partner Ryan keeps saying things like, "Are you sure this is realistic?" It feels like he doesn't believe in me. How do I deal with this without resenting him? Thank you, Tina. Well, the only way to prevent resenting someone is to speak your truth, stand your ground, express to him how you feel that he's not being emotionally supportive, and that's not okay with you.
And are you sure this is realistic? Oh my gosh. Well, this is bringing up feelings for me. Am I sure that starting Astrodipity is realistic? Well, it's my goal. It's my dream. It's
Right.
part of us. I would really have an issue with someone who says that in the first place. I would take that personally. That would hurt me because I would feel exactly like you do, Tina, that he's not supporting me.
No.
And I don't think that's a good it's a good thing in any relationship, actually. I think this to me is a red flag in a big, big way, because I think having someone support you, this is what I have to say. This is a big one for me. My gift to someone would be to help them achieve their goals. There's nothing that makes me feel better than helping you get to where you want to be, even if it's you, Tasha. If you need my help, I'm there. Boom. I need someone who's going to help me achieve my goals so I can become the best version of myself. And then I'll feel secure in every aspect. And this to me is going to just keep her down. She's never going to flourish. She's going to, doubt herself. She's going to become insecure. I think this is horrible. This is horrible. And I forget resenting him. I think you shouldn't even be together at all. He doesn't have that type of personality where he wants to see you just go, wow, just
Right.
best you can be.
He's basically taking a dump on your dreams.
A dump on Matt.
That's what he's doing.
Dump on your dreams. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is it my turn or yours?
Not sure. Go for it.
Okay. I'm Megan, 27. My partner, Luke, is 45. We love each other, but the age gap creates challenges, especially when it comes to family and future plans. How do we navigate this? Thanks, Megan. How is it? I don't understand.
Yeah, why?
What's
the
how
problem?
is it interfering? 'Cause she didn't give enough information.
I've always been with someone older. Um, I just have. Yeah, I don't think there's, and you're saying you love each other. Um, 27, 30. Okay, is a little bit of an age gap though. 27 is quite young, and 45, well, maybe he's just
18 years.
younger. Maybe he is, yeah, that's a little bit of a age gap for sure. I think that's a father with a very young, a father age with a
Right.
very, very young, because I'm just putting myself in that situation, thinking of my own children. I think there's an age gap there. I think it would be hard with the families. And I don't understand why you can't find someone more. How you fell for him were probably for the things that he could give you, offer security, stability, things like that. I just don't know if you're going to feel that way down the road 10 years from now when he's 55 or 65. So to me, this is actually, my first thought was, what's the problem? But 18 years is not 10 years. 18 years is 18 years.
That's a whole adult child.
Yeah, that's yeah, I do think there is an issue.
Yeah.
Thinking of George Clooney and his wife, who's so much younger, those are exceptions. Those are extreme scenarios. I believe that people can find love in all shapes, sizes, ages, but I do think typically, I think this is huge, actually, and I think down the line she might not feel this way.
I agree.
So all I can say about that. Yeah. Dear Astro Divas, my partner Chris complains about work constantly, but won't do anything to change their situation. I want to be supportive, but it's starting to exhaust me. How do I help him without letting it affect my own mental health? Can I just say, this kind of email um, makes me realize, Cassandra, I do the same thing, and it's a habit that I need to break. I tend to just, people might think I'm complaining, and that is not my intent. I'm venting, and I do a lot of it. And sometimes you have to think about the other person and realize not everybody wants to hear the problems or the issues all the time. So, yeah, it could be exhausting for the other person. And I think you need to have a big conversation with him and tell him,
Yeah.
this is how I feel, because I'm only aware of it because it's being brought up right now. And
Yeah.
I just realized I did this morning. I went on, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is.
Well, I think she needs, if it's too much, if it's happening too much, she just needs to be honest and say,
Yeah,
look, you are emotionally draining me.
yeah,
It's fine that we can talk about, but it can't be all the time. It can't be every single day because it's sucking the life out of me.
yeah. We all
Yeah.
have bad habits, but it takes someone to bring it up and confront it or communicate it. And it might just make him realize, yeah, you're right. It
Yeah.
could be good, very healthy. Should I be okay with this friendship? My partner, Liam, again, Liam seems to be very popular, is still best friends with their ex. They've assured me there's nothing romantic anymore, but it makes me uncomfortable. Am I being unreasonable, or should I set boundaries? Well, you should always have boundaries in the first place. But if you're coming in to his world and he's best friends with his ex, you can't be the one. First of all, you have no right to say, well, now you can't be best friends with your ex. If this is happening while you're in the relationship and they're still hanging out, well, then he still has feelings, I would think, unresolved feelings.
Yeah, I've seen videos on this where psychologists have actually talked about a man that has a best friend that's a female,
Right.
there's always underlying feelings. That a man that has a best friend that's a female is because secretly that they hope to be able to connect with them. That's from psychologists that have talked about that. So I don't
Yeah,
know if I would like it.
why can't you just why the person you're meant to be with is that person who essentially is your best friend. They become your best.
Right. They
They
should
become
be the
the one you share with.
priority.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
So,
this ex. Definitely
no,
not your ex.
no.
Unless you're coming in and you've been best friends for the last 5 years because it didn't work out. You were in a relationship and you that's your best friend, or for 10 years. That would be different. And you sort of can't change that. But even in that case, the person you're with should become your best friend. It's a natural process. They do. If you and I were in a relationship, you would become the one I want to share everything, the good, the
Right.
bad, everything with. You're the
Right.
one,
Mm.
right? Should I stay if they don't believe in marriage? I've always dreamt about getting married, but my partner Alex says they don't believe in marriage and think it's outdated. I love him and I'm starting to question, is this a deal breaker? Can a relationship survive such a difference in goals?
How long have they been together? I mean, if it's been, you've been together and you came in with the pretense that he would be married to you, then that would be a betrayal. But if he's
Right.
always said that, then you either need to accept it or you need to find someone that aligns with that goal of marriage.
Right. And
Yeah.
if and depending on how long you've been together, like Tasha just said, people do change their minds. Like maybe he's going to realize, my God, you are so important to me, and this would be something that you've always dreamt of. I'm going to do it for you, or because now I want it too. It's dependent on how long you've been together, because people do change their minds, their wants, their needs change over time. It's very dependent.
Right. Yep. The next one is, Dear Astro Divas, what are your personal beliefs on infidelity? Do you think a relationship can survive cheating, or is it always a sign to walk away? Have you ever given someone a second chance and did it work out? Thank you for sharing, Mia. No, absolutely not. I don't believe, I have been cheated on, and absolutely, it was the biggest blessing of my life because I could see the true character of that person, the lack of commitment, their unhealed wounds. It was liberation for me. And no, would I never give anyone a second chance that was unfaithful, because there are deeper rooted issues and it has nothing to do with you, period.
Actually, the way you just said that, it has nothing to do with you. That's the thing we all have to learn. It never
Hmm.
has anything to do with you, ever.
No.
It's not your fault. You didn't cause it. You're not responsible for it. When someone cheats, it's a choice they make. That's
Yeah.
on them. I
Yeah.
agree. No.
Yeah.
Hi, divas. Do you think love at first sight is possible, or is it just physical attraction mistaken for something deeper? Have you ever experienced it yourself? I'd love to hear your thoughts and any stories you might have. Evan.
No, love at first sight is lust at first sight. It is not love, because you have to get to know someone, and love grows. It's not instant. It's your body's chemical response to an attraction. That's not love at first sight.
Right.
That's the way I,
That's attraction and nothing more. It's your hormones fluctuating,
yeah,
things like that. And not just love, but a relationship is built. A
yes,
relationship doesn't fall into your lap. There is no such thing. You can't just, we're going to get into this relationship. No, you have to build it.
right. It's a
So,
seed that's planted that
correct.
grows as you nurture it.
As you water it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Water your own garden. That's right.
Water
All
your
right.
own
Sorry, I'm still bitter from the last message, the last email.
garden. I
Okay.
hear you.
So the next one, do you believe everyone has a soulmate? Hi, Astro Divas. Do you believe there's one perfect person out there for everyone, or do you think we can find happiness with many different people? Have you ever felt like you met a soulmate? Thanks for sharing your insights. And I love this question.
Me too.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
I have so much to say, but I do believe in soulmates. I believe sometimes you're destined to meet people. They come into your life to show you how to love, to teach you lessons. But I want to focus on the love, the soulmate that's about love. And yes, I believe I'm a big believer in a soulmate. And I don't necessarily believe that someone's what people call karmic. I think that's just you've outgrown your soulmate. And so you might find another soulmate. However, I believe there's someone out there for everyone. And however, if you think a soulmate is perfect and things are going to be perfect and you're not going to have any fights or disagreements, that I don't believe in. I don't believe there is any such thing, because that's more of a friendship. A soulmate should encompass friendship, partnership, supporter, someone you respect, you admire. You will have ups and downs. You will be triggered. You will have things to work out. You will not speak for a few hours because one is upset or angry. But if you respect the person and they are honest and loyal and all of those things, yes, I believe there's soulmates out there for all of us.
Yeah.
What
So
are your
what I have to say about it is we have multiple soulmates. Definitely. There are two types of soulmates. There are soulmates that are sent to teach us lessons, and there are soulmates that are meant to co-create with us on a destined path, be perfectly aligned for us. And if you have a high vibrational soulmate and say that soulmate passes away, yes, you have multiple soulmates. Another one will come in. So don't
Yeah,
feel like it was a once and done if your partner has
yeah,
passed, um,
right.
or they turn through free will into a lesson for you, because free will can change the trajectory of the relationship. If they were meant to be a blessing and not a lesson, they can change through free will and become your lesson. But there's multiple soulmates. So
You're right. You're
yeah,
totally right.
yep.
Can opposites really work long term? Do you believe opposites attract, or do successful relationships require shared interests and similar personalities? Have you seen relationships succeed despite major differences, or do they lead to conflict? Thank you for your perspective. I would like to say something right away on this. I do believe opposites attract a million times over. I've seen it 1,000 times. There's definitely usually more passion. They're more intense. Um, do you have to have the same personalities? No, I don't think you do have to have the same personalities. I think sometimes it's a great thing if your personalities are actually different, and it can help balance you out, and you having a different perspective than mine helps your eyes open to a bigger world that you wouldn't know anything about, because I believe that opposites do attract and can form really, really amazing, beautiful relationships. I actually think that if you're too similar, you'll end up getting bored down the road. And I think more often than not, those relationships are more likely to end sooner than one of an opposite. That's my
Yeah.
thought on that.
I mean, I agree with, opposites do attract. And I feel like what it comes down to is support and mutual respect. You don't have to be the same person, but you have to be able to respect each other's visions, dreams, and goals for their life and be supportive of that. That's what matters. That's what makes or breaks a relationship.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is marriage still important in modern relationships? Do you think marriage is still necessary for a successful relationship, or is it just a piece of paper? Have your personal views on marriage changed over time? I'd love to hear your take on this. Thank you, Jason. I believe in marriage. I believe it's more than a piece of paper. I believe that it is a commitment. I believe it's a contract made in heaven, and I feel like it's important. However, if you don't believe that marriage is important, as long as your partner feels the same way, who cares? There's no judgment from me or anyone else. You shouldn't care what anyone else thinks. That's my take on it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think my d- do your views change over time? Mine have. Um, it depends on the Hallmark movie I'm watching because one minute I'll totally believe in marriage and I'm all for marriage and the beautiful romantic. I'm such a diehard romantic, but the romantic expressions and romantic uh, words and all of that. That's not the only reason to get married, though. Like Tasha said, marriage is a commitment. It's more than a piece of paper. It's really saying, you know, you're the one and you're the only one, and I'm committing to you. And this is, uh, I'm going to go the extra mile and take this, you know, be traditional in that sense. I think it's a beautiful thing. Do I think it's necessary? It depends on who you are. For me, I honestly, it really is. I can change. It depends. Sometimes a lot of people that I know have expressed their beliefs to me, saying that marriage is just a piece of paper. I can understand where they're coming from because for a lot of people who've been divorced or things like that, it was so messy and not worth having to go through, because if it wasn't for that piece of paper, things would have been a lot easier. You can get married without having that piece of paper. You can get married just by having, you know, a private ceremony in your backyard kind of thing, and still say beautiful things to one another, and that is your commitment. But if you want that piece of paper, then that's okay too. Whatever way you choose to commit to one another, I think is really good, as
I
long as
agree.
there is commitment. There should be some commitment, whether it's monogamy, whether it's we're exclusive, however you want to say it.
Right.
Yeah, all up to you. You're gonna have to need. I'm cut off.
Okay.
Really sorry.
So,
Like I've got nothing left.
what's your take on long distance relationships? Do you think they can truly work in the long run, or are they too difficult to sustain? Have you ever been in one yourself, and how did it go? Best regards, Maya. I don't think long distance relationships. I mean, there are a rare occasion, but I just feel like the distance, if you cannot have a connection, personal relationship, then where can the growth begin? It's just, I just don't feel that it would work.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I've never been in one. Have you?
I dated someone that was about hour and a half away, and I would drive on the weekends. It obviously didn't work out because I'm not with that person.
Right. So yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
if honestly we're, you know, giving cut and dry answers, I don't think long distance relationships can work. I really don't.
Yeah.
Down? I don't see how.
Yep. So you want me to go on to the next one?
Yes, please.
Okay. What are your beliefs about trust in a relationship? Is it something that can be rebuilt after it's broken, or is it once gone, always gone? Do you think trust is more important than love in a partnership? Thanks for your thoughts. Love and trust are tandem, they
Right,
piggyback one another. You
right.
can't have um, love without trust. You can't have trust without love. I
You
mean, I feel like it goes tandem. And absolutely, if someone has broken your trust, the odds of being able to rebuild that would be very slim unless that person has gone to some sort of treatment for whatever their wounds are, because it stems from a wound. It's not like, oh my gosh, I was just tempted. No, it's way bigger than that. And so I think it would be highly unlikely. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I just
yeah,
wouldn't.
I agree with you. It's nothing I can
Yeah.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
So,
together.
yeah. Can someone truly change for love? Okay, it says, do you believe people can generally change if they've had bad habits or destructive behaviors in the past? Have you seen someone successfully change for a relationship, or is it unrealistic to expect someone to transform? Best, Liam. Well, we need to know. I mean, is this person narcissistic? Because if that's the case, no, they're not going to change. Is this person a serial cheater? No, they're not going to change. I would have to know what is the issue that you're seeking change in, because it
Um,
makes the difference.
right, right. But generally speaking, the first part, can people change in relationships? I would say a hard yes. I think you do change because of relationships. I think that's the number one way of change. And it happens whether you're seeking it out or not. You just change. I know that from even friendships that I've changed because you learn or you pick up different habits or you start changing without even realizing it. It's inevitable, period. Unless we're talking about what Tasha just brought up.
Yeah.
Those are different things. But if it's little mindsets or little habits, yes, people can change. And absolutely, when you come into a relationship, you notice things you like about your partner, and you notice things you don't. But the things you like, a lot of times we find ourselves actually wanting to change things that we do and become better versions of ourselves. That's the
Right.
whole point of getting into a relationship. That's how you grow.
Right.
Right.
So the next one is, hi, Astro Divas. Do you think that a relationship needs fiery passion to last, or is stability and compatibility more important? If you had to choose, would you prioritize emotional security or intense chemistry? I feel like it's both. I feel like, you know, when you have a good union, there's passion and there is compatibility, stability, emotional security. I feel like that what makes up the best type of relationship, because if it's imbalanced on one end or the other, then the odds of it lasting would be slim.
Right. I get what you're saying. There's a lot of people out there, though, that are in relationships where they only have one because the other part has sort of died, or they stay with their partner for the sake of the children or things like that. Um, I would have to say, if it's working for you, then don't change it. If it's not working for you because you have other needs, then you have to
Make
deal
that
with it.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The next one is, what makes a relationship successful? Dear podcast, what's your definition of a successful relationship? Is it longevity, happiness, personal growth, or something else? Do you think a relationship that ends after a few years can be considered a success if it taught both people valuable lesson? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts, Sophia. Do you want me to go on that one? Or do you?
I know respect for sure. Respect is the fundamental, like, pillar that you need to have. You need to respect the person for who they are, how they act, not wanting to change them or things like that. You need transparency in a person. Um, you, it used to be that I used to think communication was the number one thing. I think not always communication. You need to be supportive. I think you have to choose someone that you like, and from there build upon those core things. And if you like them, then you'll respect them. And if you respect them, then you'll learn to trust them and open up and be vulnerable. All these things, they're stages. I think it starts with respect, and and that's basically what I
Yeah.
think.
Well, I agree with that. Honesty, loyalty, integrity.
Yeah.
Someone that's supportive of your dreams, your vision. Someone that's protective. Someone that prioritizes the relationship. Someone that you can build with.
That the other thing is, priority, just like you said. If if they make you a priority, it doesn't matter what side you're on, you're going to flourish. You'll both flourish, actually, because you're both giving and pouring into the relationship. But if one stops and one just wants to make it about themselves, well, at that point, your relationship isn't going to last. Integrity is very important. Loyalty, devotion, all of those things. And wow, you don't know how good life can be when you have that. So
Right.
that's important.
And yes, I do agree that if you were in a relationship and you both learned a lesson from that experience in the past, absolutely it was a success, because every relationship is going to teach you something, good,
Right.
bad, or ugly. So,
Right.
yeah, it
You're
was
right.
a success.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that our final one?
That's it. That's it. That's all we got.
Well, that's what we have for now. And we're hoping that everybody's getting ready for a beautiful holiday season, which is coming up very soon. Once again, I'm going to say that I hope you guys check out Astrodipity. It is free for 3 days for everybody. So you can download the app on Google and Apple. And we will be back next week with our holiday podcast, which will be the last one for the month of December, only to restart in 2025. So on that note, I want to say goodbye from Cassandra, and it was nice.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.